Hello Sagittarius. It is my intention to share with you today the reading that's going to give you the map for the next 15 days of March from the 16th to the 31st. So this video is going to be me basically giving you two kinds of information. It's going to be a reading, but it's also going to be an astrological report meant specifically for you guys. So let's go with your reading. Right, so I want to tell you something. This reading is not going to be the same reading as in Spanish. This is going to be an intuitive reading, which means that it doesn't have a structure. It's only me shuffling the deck, and whatever pops out is going to be what you're meant to hear right now. So, as I'm doing this, I will be telling you information about your astral report. You have an opposition between your 5th house and your 11th house, Sagittarius, which means that you have an opposition between the things that will make you passionate about life, you have an opposition between the things that make you happy in life, and also the things that will make you shine in your group to stand out. And you have an opposition between the 11th house, which is the house of the well-being of the group. So it's either you or the group. That's basically it. You want to shine, you want to feel good, and you have the chances to do so. But right now there are many planets in your 11th house, which means that... Wait. Yeah, sorry about that, I was just thinking. You have a difficulty in the position between your 5th house, the house of shining, the house of Leo, and you have an opposition between the 11th house, which is the house of you thinking about the group. I think that you've been thinking about the group for a while now, and right now it is not a time to think about the group, it is a time to think about yourself. Sometimes you inspire more by being in the moment than by thinking ahead. Or sometimes you have to think about your own passions instead of the well-being of the group. So what does this mean? It means that please go after your own dreams. Stop waiting for them. Stop waiting for them to manifest. This is a good thing. Being like this gives you some emotional stability because you're waiting basically. You're capable of waiting, of taking your time and letting the situation present itself. But right now it is not about that. It is about you chasing your own passions. It is about you going after what you want and doing so in the most serious and honest way possible, but straightforward. It is Aries, you know, you have many your 5th house is in Aries, which means that if you want to shine, you'll have to make it happen. No one else is gonna do it for you. And in fact, everyone around you is gonna be telling you to work towards the well-being of the group. And right now, that's not good. Doesn't mean that you have to forget about the group. It means that please do good things for the group. But no one else is gonna fight for your own dreams. So if no one else does, guess who? Just guess who will have to do it. You've been working for a while now, and the hard work you're doing is not gonna be of any results. It's not that. This amount of hard work. You've been investing a lot in something, I can tell. It's not gonna work though. It's not gonna be good for you. It's not gonna turn out well. Mercury is gonna... Look, I want you to understand the following thing. So you have this opposition between your 5th house and your 11th house. You have this conflict between what's good for you and what's good for the group. But Mercury, for the longest time you've been confused. For the longest time you've been lost. But right now Mercury is gonna leave Pisces and it's gonna go into Aries and your 5th house, which means that right now you're gonna be understanding that it is very important for you to do things about yourself, for yourself. The second thing I want to tell you, Sagittarius, is that you have the North Node in your 10th house, which means that right now it is a very good thing for you to focus on building your goals. It is a very good idea for you to focus on building your life path In the sense of your career, what is going to be your contribution to society? How are you going to be known by society? What's going to be your role? You should be focusing on that. You don't really know what you want right now. It is a time of emotional confusion. You really don't know what you're missing. The good thing about this experience is that it's making you be wiser, but it's making you lose your edge, so to speak, in the sense that, you know, the Queen of Swords, she's very wise, but she isolates herself because she doesn't want to experience the same problems she did in the past. This is reverse, which means that this period of confusion, even if it makes you very confused, both emotionally and mentally, at least it's making you softer. It is softening you up. Why is it softening you up? So you can trust yourself. You can stop thinking about the path. You can stop thinking so much. And instead of thinking, you can follow your own heart, your own intuition. You can follow that. This is a very long story, as you can see. You know, we have 9 cards. So I want to take my time to talk to you about this, because if it's here, it is important. Alright, so the first card is you don't know what you want. But not knowing what you want is making you trust less your mind and trust more your inner intuition, because your intuition is going to bring you that which you don't know mentally what it is. Thing is, that intuition is leading you into some very difficult times, you know. Times have not been kind with you, Sagittarius. And I can add to this that you have Saturn in your first house, which means that you yourself, you have to be on your best, because as soon as you let go of your best qualities, life is gonna go in a very difficult direction. So you have to be thinking on your feet, following your intuition. Now, because life is so difficult, it is making you lose abundance, it is making you lose security, it is making you lose stability, and that's very tough, I understand that, but the reason why you have to go through this is so you face your own inner fears and you come out on top. And you will, but it's gonna be a very difficult process. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes we learn things through the hard way. Sometimes some things can only be learned through the hard way. And you're facing yourself. You're facing your own inner tendencies which are not helping you. You will overcome them, but it's gonna come at a cost. Try not to create any more rifts. Try not to create any more fights in your life. There's not necessary. And in fact, this shouldn't be necessary. There's no time for you to think. You shouldn't be thinking. You should be following your heart. You should be following your intuition. How about you let go? How about you stop trying to make everything good? How about you stop trying to lead life into your highest ideals, your biggest standards, and instead of trying to do everything at once and trying to fix everything, which I don't think you can fix everything, I'm sorry. Honestly, I don't think you can fix this. It was meant to happen. This difficult time was meant to happen, and that should give you some relief, because it means that it's not your fault. I honestly believe that you've been trying to do your best. In fact, you've been trying to give it more than your best. You've been trying to do everything to fix everything. And that amount of effort, this amount of effort, will not fix, will not turn the wheel. You need to face some difficult times. No, don't worry, I will tell you something good about it, so not everything is gloom and doom. But it is the same. It is a reconfirmation. This time you will have to make some sacrifices. This time you will have to lose some things. This time some things are meant to fail. And that should be relieving. That should be a relief. I do think that you are judging yourself based on what's happening around you, and that's not a very good idea, because you know what? Thinking about a group, it's only so good in the sense that as long as you are not sacrificing yourself, which I think that the reason why you're sacrificing yourself so much is because you're thinking about the group. And I feel that if you, instead of thinking about the group and putting yourself on hold, it would be better if you just went for it. Act as you are, be yourself, and go after the things you want. What can I tell you, Sagittarius, personally? Again, you have your North Node in the 10th house, which means that right now it is a time that you focus on your own goals. Don't focus on other people's goals. Focus on yourself. This is a very difficult time for yourself. Other signs, they're having a rough time too, but no other sign has Saturn in the 1st house, only you. Which means that specifically for you, you have to be on top of your game. And right now, being on top of your game does not mean taking into account other people's needs, not even the group. It means tending to yourself. What do you want? What do you want to build? When you focus only on yourself, you don't have to carry this much weight. When you think only in yourself, about yourself, not in a selfish way, in the sense of abandoning other people, but putting yourself as a priority, you wouldn't have to be carrying so much weight. In fact, you will be releasing a lot of weight that is not your responsibility. Thus, by releasing weight, you will be able to stop losing things and start gaining things, because you are thinking about yourself. You are tending to yourself. You're accompanying yourself. You are on your own. Don't abandon yourself. Stick with yourself. Be your own best friend. Do the best things for yourself. You need it. Now you have the Mars in your 6th house, and Mars 6th house is all about routine, everyday job, everyday work, health. Mars is making a very good aspect with North Node in the 10th house, which means that I want you to pay attention to this, and I want you to apply this in your life because it might benefit you so much. Keeping up the effort in building your goals or your path towards it, it's gonna make them manifest. Mars in your 6th house. Do the things you have to do for yourself, for your routine. Do the things you have to do in your everyday life. Do them. Don't be so careless. But if you are doing them, do your routine because you are going after your goals, not because you want to help the group. Don't think about the group so much. Other signs have that task right now. Other signs have to think about the group. Specifically, I think Gemini. Your opposite, your polar opposites, your opposite sign. You are the 9th house, Gemini is the 3rd house. Gemini has to think more about the group. Leave that task to the Gemini. You, Sagittarius, have to think about yourself. Your own passions, what makes you passionate, what makes you want to live this life, what makes you be joyful. And I feel that that passion is contrary to what the group wants for you. Well, fuck the group. Because you know what? The group is not thinking about you. I don't think the group is bad. I think that being altruistic, in fact, we're going into the age of Aquarius. We're thinking about humanity as a whole. That's beautiful. That's really good. But you specifically, you think about yourself, please. You are facing a very difficult time. Get out of it. Heal yourself, build yourself, transform yourself. Be better than before. Last 3 cards for you, Sagittarius. This is the most important message I can give you. First card. Stop crying, man. Stop crying. Stop crying. This is you're facing a very difficult time. But you know, the reason why you're crying is because you're trying to fix things that are not meant for you to fix. So you're suffering unnecessarily. If you're gonna suffer, suffer because you are failing to meet your goals. Don't suffer because someone else is having a bad time or because your actions are gonna I don't know, make someone else's life more miserable, it is not your responsibility. Don't go against the group, but don't go against yourself. So do what's best for yourself and leave the group alone. Stop suffering. Second card, don't give up. When it comes to you, your life is difficult, work towards your life. Work towards building your life. And drop anything that is not helping you towards that. Drop it. It is making you exhausted. It is making you be paranoid. It is making you see problems everywhere. Now, that may be true. You may have a lot of challenges in your life. I'm not going to deny that. But I will tell you, give up the things that are not helping you. Don't waste energy on causes that are not going to help you. This time is for yourself, and you will understand that. With Mercury in your 5th house, you will understand how important it is to work towards your own passions. Last card. You have abandoned your own emotional needs for too long. And that's making you lose love for life. That's making you act in a very disappointed way. In a very... life has lost the charm for you, maybe. How do you fix this? How do you become the most passionate and emotional person in this world? Well, stop crying. Cry for the things that really affect you. Don't cry about things that are not in your life, please. Step number 1. If you're gonna cry, cry about things that are related with you. Exclusively with you. Forget about the group. For now. Just for now. Alright, that's step 1. Step 2. Don't be afraid of holding on a little bit more when it comes to your own goals. Give up any kind of effort that has to do with someone else or with the well-being of the group. Focus on yourself. You have a lot going on in your life. You have a lot going on in your life. It needs your attention. So focus on it, only on it, and leave everything else to other people. When you do these two things, even though it is gonna be it's gonna be difficult. You have 2 9s, which is you are about to end a cycle, and it's a very difficult cycle. It is a cycle that has been making you feel miserable. But as long as you do these 2 steps and you start thinking about yourself and tackling your own challenges, guess what? You will be in love, because you're building your own life, and that's what you have to understand. You have to be passionate about your life. And you will understand that. It's not going to be pleasant, because I feel that many people around you are going to be disappointed with you. Many people around you are counting on your efforts. I just think they are abusing how much you can give. Right now, there's not much you can give. You are tired. You're exhausted. You are sad. That's what the cards are showing me. You're strong. But I think that your emotional needs are calling for you to tend to them. The basis of your energy is the Knight of Swords reverse, which means that there have been many misunderstandings, there have been many debates, there have been many arguments. There's a lot of confusion in your life. You don't really know where to go. You don't really know what direction to take to get out of this situation. You feel trapped. Five of Wands reversed. Even if you feel trapped, even if you feel like you're losing direction, you are losing the horizon, your north, you don't know what to do, and you keep fighting with the people around you, you keep having to give up your own mental convictions, so there's no more fighting. Maybe it is that. You have given up on your own direction, so there's no fight with anyone else. Well, you know what? Do it. Go for yourself. Decide for yourself. That's gonna bring you problems with people around you, but who gives a shit? You are feeling bad. Feel good. Don't feel good by making someone else's life miserable, but if you're deciding something that is gonna make you happier, don't be afraid of fights. Don't be afraid of telling people what will. Don't be afraid of telling the group what is truly that which will make you feel happy, that which has your mental support, that which has your interest. Don't be afraid of saying that out loud. And if someone tells you you shouldn't, you know what? Sometimes you have to fight. Sometimes you have to decide for yourself. And that's the nature of the conflict that everyone is going right now. Being able to be yourself, to go after what you want, in spite of people around you telling you can't or you shouldn't. Well, fuck them. You can. You should. You should go after the things you want. And you will understand that right now. Don't fight with people. Be compassionate. Be understanding. If they are telling you something that sounds really bad for you, like, you should think about us. You should postpone yourself and think about us. If someone tells you that, don't explode if you can. Try to be compassionate, try to understand them, and then tell them, you know what, I agree. I mean, you have the right to think what you want, as much as I have the right to choose what I want. And I'm choosing this, and if you don't like it, I'm sorry, I will do it anyway. And if you ever want to talk with me again, I will be right here for you waiting, because I accept you the way you are, and you have to accept me the way I am and the path I am taking. And I'm sorry if I can't support you right now. I'm sorry if my actions are going against your own view, what would be best for you, but what you are asking me to do goes against myself. And I will not take that anymore. This time is for me. That would be great. Because then people would be able to understand you, would be able to see how strong you are, how determined you are, and that you are an individual just as them, just as they, with your own needs. Go for yourself, Sagittarius. Act for yourself. Act to build your goals and your things. Yeah, so that's what I can tell you. I really honestly hope this reading has resonated with you, and if it did, I honestly hope it brings you better decisions in the future, better guidance. So if you like the reading, I do appreciate you subscribing to my channel, giving a like to my video, following my Facebook page so you can find out anything I am planning right now. And yeah, I really like you, Sagittarius. I really hope, I really wish. Look, I'm a Libra. I should be telling you to act towards the well-being of the group, because that's the best. But right now, I understand you so well. Please work towards yourself. Don't waste energy on things that are not gonna result. Build your own passions. Build your own goals. Focus on your own routine. Do what's best for you. Cheers.